Okay, so this session is now being recorded. This is the first time we have ever tried to record a session. So this is like the second time the Library Marketing and Outreach Roundtable for South Carolina Library Association has met up online. It looks like we have around 9 to 10 people in our group right now, about 9. So thank you for coming. Hopefully you can all hear me. And I'm not just talking out into the world. I have a loose agenda for us today. So I wanted to give you kind of an update on our roundtable and give you an introduction to Brianna, because Brianna has joined our group as co-conveners with me. And we're hoping to hopefully do another one of these online meetups, maybe near the maybe April or May. So if you are interested maybe in giving a talk, a short talk later on, please just either email myself or Brianna to let us know that you're interested in doing that. And also, if you like the way we're doing this, any kind of feedback on how we can do it better, meet more people, because it's easier, I know, for a lot of people to just log on during the day like this while we're at work, and we can just join online and, you know, share these library marketing and outreach topics that we're doing. I know that we also have the listserv. Are y'all on the listserv?
I don't think I am. This is Ashley.
You don't think so? Okay, well, I will try to put the listserv information on this document after we get done. So if you want to sign up for that, we can. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not on really any super active listservs these days. A lot of where it's at is online. So I don't know if we need to try to look into connecting on Facebook or, you know, through Twitter or whatever you might think is interesting, because on our listserv now, we don't have a lot of activity. It's really mainly just us, you know, sending out information, you know, maybe about this online meetup or what we're going to be doing at the conference. So if our roundtable is looking for more of a discussion, I'm not sure if the listserv is where we want to be. So that's another thought to be thinking about. And looking at this whole online meetup option, do you want it to be, you know, a monthly sort of thing, or is it, like I always think of in semesters, do you want like one semester? Do we need different themes? Like this time around, you know, we are talking about academics, and we're getting that from Jenny, and then we're going to get the state feel from Curtis, and a tech talk I was going to throw in at the end. So if we wanted more of a theme, we could try that. I'm really up for anything, because I like to be able to use this method to connect, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as well. And then lastly, I put this on here. I'm throwing Curtis under the bus without even telling him. I'm hoping that maybe he can give us some information about the PR exchange that's coming up.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to. I was just looking through, you know, the introductory stuff, and I saw that. Please, Curtis. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Thank you.
Sure, no problem. In fact, if you go to the South Carolina State Library's website, and you don't have to switch to me if you want to just go there right now to statelibrary.sc.gov.
Okay.
And if you, when you get to the page, you can scroll down a little. You'll see it's one of the news items. I think it's in the middle. And it's the 2016 PR and Marketing Exchange for Libraries, and it's going to be on April 22nd here at the State Library. And it is all for the low price of $10. All that does is includes lunch. But actually, Virginia, you spoke at ours last year, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, I had you talking about Canva and all that good stuff. But anyway, it's a great mix of folks. You don't have to be. It's not just for public libraries. A lot of people think the State Library only works with public libraries, but this exchange is open to all types of libraries. One year we actually had someone from Georgia, because Georgia doesn't do anything like this for library staff. So you get to learn a lot, and we usually have between 20 and 30 people, and folks can bring, successful brochures and bookmarks and other kinds of materials to share with everyone, and we have a big swap and shop table so you can pick and grab all other, ideas from other folks. So I highly recommend folks to register, and hopefully we'll see you in April.
Yeah, one thing that I really liked last year is you had some people come from an advertising agency, and they really gave like an outsider perspective on how to market, because I think a lot of times when I think about marketing, I think of it from a nonprofit perspective, but they were, bringing a whole another realm and perspective to marketing and branding, and really thinking about how to meet your customer in a sophisticated way.
Right, and in fact this year I'm thinking about getting someone from a professional printing shop to come and talk about what you need to be aware of when you send something to a printer to actually have it printed, because there are so many nuances and things that you need to know that will help the whole process go more smoothly. So that might be one of the things. And we also hear from folks, I basically solicit if there's anything anyone wants to talk about, for a half an hour or an hour, or do a presentation on, then folks are certainly welcome to submit that. It's very laid back, very informal, and you get lots of good information.
Right, right. Okay. Well, hopefully everybody will be able to make it to the PR Exchange in April. Before we move on, since we have just a little bit more time, I'm going to show you how to sign up for the listserv that we have. So SCLA.org, then you can go to Roundtables. Library Marketing and Outreach is right here. Also, when you're renewing your SCLA membership, be sure to click our name so that you can be allocated into being a part of our Roundtable. So that was SCLA.org, and then you click on Roundtables and Library Marketing and Outreach. This kind of gives you the whole deal on how to sign up for the listserv. You just click on this and go through the motions of signing up. You'll be accepted, and then you can actually send out to the whole group. I think there is at least 30 to 40 people already on the listserv, so it is still growing. I think we've had this roundtable for 2 years now, so we're still, getting our base. And then we've got our two officers here, myself and Brianna. Okay, well, it's only just 5 minutes ahead of our agenda, and I think that's okay. So we have 3 talks that we're going to have today. Jenny Colvin from Furman University, Curits Rogers, who you've already heard talking, who is the marketing guru for our state, and myself. I decided to throw myself in the mix because I had to learn a little bit more about Google telephone calls and Hangouts, and I thought that it would be something that you might be interested in too. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to give Jenny Colvin the reins. I'm making her the presenter now. So let's see how this goes.
All right. So to make this work, I have to just have the PowerPoint on the whole screen. So if you need something or something's not working, can you interrupt me in audio because I won't see the words?
I will, but I'm looking at the chat, so we're ready to roll.
Okay. Great. And you can see me, see the screen and everything? The PowerPoint?
Yep, it's on the screen.
Wonderful. Well, hi, everyone. Like she said, I'm Jenny Colvin, and I'm the Assistant Director for Outreach at Furman. And I guess 4 years ago, we restructured the library, and we put everyone who is in reference and instruction into a group that we call Outreach, including our branch librarians. That's where all the liaisons live, and that's where all the people that work with students and faculty and staff for programming and instruction, all those things live. So we do a lot of things for students. Some are academic and some are fun. And we've had a long-standing tradition of having events on study day, which of course is the day between the last day of classes, and final exams. What we have found is that everyone on campus does something for the students on study day. You could eat for free all day long if you wanted to. You could do Build-A-Bear, you could get massages, you could do yoga, all these things that we had done in some variation or the other, and then other people would kind of take the ideas and run with them too. And so we had been trying to think of things we could do in addition to that, adding some type of service for students that wasn't just all saturated in a day. So we've had a trend of mindfulness on our campus. There's a student class that meets that's a non-credit class. There's an exercise class called Mindful Movement. And I had worked with a student on a proposal for a reflection space in the library. Now, changing an actual space permanently, creating a space, takes a lot of budget, takes a lot of commitment. We haven't really quite gotten there yet. We're still working on it. But it was a great proposal. It got a lot of support from a lot of different people on campus. So we were trying to think of ways that we could do those kinds of things, but in a smaller and more temporary way. We have 2 classrooms in the library that are only used for library instruction. One of those is used by accessibility services during finals, but the other one stays open. And it's a big room. It usually is filled with those purple node chairs that you see. It's really flexible space. And so we decided to try to adapt this room into what we called an Unplug Recharge Zone for finals week. And so we just left it open. Usually the door is locked. And I'll show you some of the things that we put in the space. And some of them are variations of things we had done before. And I can hear one person making noise, so some people might want to mute. Some things are variations of things we had done before, and other things are new that we tried just for the space. So you can see that there's beanbags scattered around, and those we actually borrowed from another office in the library. Of course, we had a coloring station. There's a big table with chairs. We had coloring books that we bought, but also images from special collections that they provided to kind of have a tie to our special collections and archives. We had a few books with ideas for relaxing and getting calm and focused. The Tea of Tranquility station is something that we added based on a request, and I'll show you how we got feedback in a little bit here. We had the Keurig machine already, but we didn't ever leave it out before. We just would bring it out for events. I was a little nervous about that, but it was fine. It survived. People treated it with respect, and we would just go and refill cups and tea as needed. We had these stress relief capsules before that we would walk around and hand out during finals, but we also put them in the room. We had a big basket of them. We had ordered 10 meditation cushions, and like I said, we borrowed the beanbags from somewhere else. So in the room, I put an Unplug Recharge Log and asked people to put in there how they used it and then any comments that they had. I actually had 55 people fill that out, which I was pretty surprised by. I didn't know if they would use it or not. We also had space on the whiteboard walls for comments and suggestions. So I had about maybe 20 more comments that way, which was really useful. So this is kind of a little word cloud based on how people said they used the room. You can see meditation is big, coloring is big, coffee, tea, water is big. Some of the weird and unexpected things are headstands. Didn't expect that. Bob Ross, that'll make more sense in a minute. And just some other kind of chilled out words. We kicked everything off with a guided body scan meditation session led by one of the faculty members who has been teaching the mindfulness class. We had about 16 students come to that. I was at that too, so that was really nice. And a lot of those students are some of the students that kind of spread the word that this room was there and came back and used it themselves. One of the walls was dedicated to affirmations, and we just encouraged people to add their own. My favorite is this one in the corner that says, C's get degrees. We just wanted it to be an encouraging space, kind of away from the stress of studying. It's just some more, don't sweat the small stuff, etc. One of the things that we weren't expecting is that some people turned some of the whiteboards into an artscape, and so it just kind of grew throughout the 5 days of finals, and that was really fun to see. So I think that was the person that Bob Ross did in there. So here's the feedback wall, and I was checking in on the room several times a day. Well, I was, and some of my staff were. And so you can see in the bottom left here that says it would be better if you had beverages or even just water bottles, please and thank you. And so by the second day of finals, we set up that cart with the water and the tea. And we would erase the feedback and take pictures of it so that there was space for more of it. One person was concerned about lice. I didn't take a picture of that one for here, but that was one concern that I honestly didn't know what to do about. It's true. Beanbags are fabric. What do you do? Still don't really know. So this is a compilation of the feedback from the wall and from the log. And well, it seems like all the words are positive. Thank you. Some people talked about what they liked the most, like the coloring. And you'll notice that Puppies is kind of big. We had several people say, this would be better with puppies. We want the puppies. Where are the puppies? And please, can we have puppies? And the reason for that is that several years ago, we had collaborated with a student group to bring puppies just to the library front porch. Of course, you can't keep puppies for 5 days. You usually only have them for 2 hours. But apparently, puppies are very high impact. And so we're going to look into ways of continuing to bring therapy dogs to campus, but probably not within the space of the Unplug Recharge Zone. But man, the students love that. And one comment I saw a lot in almost any iteration was that this should be here all the time. And this is something we've heard from our library student advisory group too, which we meet with twice a semester, I guess, is that they appreciate the things that everyone on campus does for them, on study day in particular, but it would be better if those kinds of things were available all the time. Like they could always use fresh fruit, they could always use water, a place to relax, a place to kind of chill out. So I think that that will probably figure into any decisions we make on space in the future. I'm hoping to see a change for sure. And my last slide is how you can make it happen. And one of the things we were thinking about, even when we're thinking about a permanent space, you know, and if that's even viable or not, we thought about doing something like creating a mindful kit, like with a meditation cushion and some coloring books that you could check out and take to a study room, because we have lots of study rooms. We thought about other spaces that could be more flexible and could sometimes be a space like this. I think you could just devote a study room to this kind of thing, although, of course, during finals week, students are very, very protective of study space. So we tried not to use space that would have been used for studying. And I think that's everything I have to say. I'm not sure I took my whole 15 minutes. But I would...
That's okay. Since we still have a little bit of time before Curtis will start at 1:30, I was hoping if anybody has questions, now would be a good time to talk it out. And I have a question. So I was wondering, could you talk about the meditation pillows a little bit more?
Sure. What do you want to know about them?
I don't know anything about them. Like, how do you use them? Where do you get them? Are they expensive? Can you make them?
You know, looking into making them would have been a good idea, probably. I just ordered them from Amazon. And I only knew what to get because I was consulting people that meditate a lot. And it's kind of a new practice for me. So we kind of just used the standard size. There looks like there is a standard size and all the pillows in Amazon were that size, but you could spend up to $80 for one pillow depending on how luxe it was. So we bought the cheaper ones, and I don't know how long they'll last, but so these don't have separate liners that can be washed, which probably would have been smart, but those were really expensive. So we just kind of thought we'd try it out and see if people used them first, and
so
what I don't really know.
You just hold it and focus
you sit
on it?
on it. You sit on it.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of elevates it so that your spine can sit straighter, and you fold your knees in front of you. And it's supposed to help you just be comfortable sitting for a longer period of time. Some people, in that position. Some people sit on their knees and then put the pillow, they turn it so that the taller part is up a little higher to help support their body. Some people that are really serious about meditation build little meditation benches.
Okay.
So, yeah, I went to this contemplative pedagogy workshop this summer where I learned a lot. I didn't have any experience with it myself. So.
No, I mean, I've read books, but in this case, it would be nice to have somebody who really knows what they're talking about, I think.
Yeah. And that's why we had those little 5 good minute books, so that even students that had no experience could come in and get an idea and do something simple.
To focus and think about something else.
Yeah.
Could in that space, do you see yourself doing it again in the spring?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the room doesn't get used otherwise, so I'm hoping to.
So when it's locked, what is it? Is it for normally what is it?
Well, during the day we use it for instruction, and then at night it gets used for athlete study hall. Like the whole bottom floor of the library becomes athlete study hall, basically.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know why we keep it closed. I guess we just do. I don't know.
It looks pretty cool with all the whiteboard stuff around.
Yeah,
okay. I know we're kind of just sitting here chatting. So anybody on the 11 that are with us right now, do you have a question? That's okay. One thought that I could give you when we're about to wrap it up so Curtis can get to talking, but one thought that I liked how you said that you had someone come in and have like the guided talk on how to meditate. That was really good. And there are all these videos that I've watched, and bear with me, I can never really say his name correctly, but it's Thich Nhat Hanh, who talks a lot about meditation. So I didn't know if maybe you had a projector to where you could actually like show some of those short videos, maybe.
Yeah.
If people were into that, that might be nice. Yeah.
You know, we thought about that because we have some of those DVDs and we have some yoga DVDs, but because we had named it the Unplug Recharge Zone, we felt like, oh, dope, we can't use technology now. And so I think if we do it again, we might call it something else, because we saw more students showing up for like those set things than I would have expected. And I think that's another way you can make it happen too. Like if you have a room you can't devote to something, you could have someone come in for scheduled events, and the students seemed to be really interested in it because it was really sold as get focused on studying, you know, relax but also get focused, and that was the focus of that entire hour. They seemed to be really into it.
Well, you didn't have any shenanigans, did you?
We erased a few things from the whiteboard walls, and actually the funniest thing to me was that one student had erased an entire wall of other things and used it to study chemistry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were trying to make it a study-free zone, but she must have really needed the space.
He was like, I don't care what you said, I'm going to do what I want. Well, I wrote down a lot of things. I like the coloring station and the tea, too, so that sounds like it was really successful. This past fall was the first time you had done it, right?
Yeah, so December.
Okay, so now spring. All right, well, it sounds like everybody's okay. Brianna said, so do you think it was successful with more structure or less structure?
Yeah, this is something we thought a lot about. I mean, I was nervous leaving it unstaffed too, but we decided we would just try it. And it seemed like students really valued a place to just go and just do nothing. But I don't know, we also got good attendance for that one guided meditation session. So I actually think maybe next time we would try to schedule a few more of those and maybe make them at the same time every day so people knew what to expect, and then just leave it open the rest of the time. I think a mix is probably best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's really good. You got so much, you know, attendance. Because sometimes
Yeah. I didn't know what would
Brianna
happen.
says that. Yeah. Okay, so
Thank
we're
you,
going to
Brianna.
thank you for your talk. That was great. We're going to give you over to Curtis. All right, Curtis, I see your screen. Haven't heard anything from you yet, though.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You got it.
Okay. All right, well, let me go back to my PowerPoint. Okay, so can you see it all right?
Yep, looks good.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm Curtis Rogers, Communications Director here at the State Library, and I'm going to talk a little bit about our 2015 Library Marketing and Communications Conference. I think it'd be interesting to know who here has had heard about it and maybe saw anything about it. If you can comment on that, and I'll look at it later. Hopefully we got the word out in a lot of different states, because we really did have a overwhelming response to this conference, which was really good. But I've only got a few slides, but I do want to take you to some of our web pages and talk a little bit about what the conference is about. It does have a little bit of a history to it. It started out as ALCOP, which was the Association of Library Communications and Outreach Professionals, which was a very interesting little group, and it was kind of haphazard. It was started by Bob Kaiserman, who is at Arcadia University in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area, and he actually started it. I think he has a degree in library science, but also teaches in some other disciplines. And he thought this was an important thing to do, and to have a separate association for it. So the conference that he actually put on actually went on for about I want to say it was 3 years, and I had only gotten involved at the second year after I had found out about it. And so the ALCOP conference was really good, had a lot of breakout sessions. It was mainly attendee run, so if you attended, you were probably presenting something. But unfortunately, in 2014, Bob had sent out a message to all the previous attendees saying that he no longer had time to put on the conference, and he was going to have to sunset it, and good luck to everyone. Basically, that was it. So a few of us started emailing one another, and Kathy Dempsey, who is the editor of Marketing Library Services, which hopefully your libraries get and you take a look at when it comes out. I think it's a bi-monthly publication. Let's see, the last one, and I've got a copy on my desk. That's, oh no, that's the July-August, so that's just really old. But anyway, so Kathy Dempsey kind of took the lead in wanting to coordinate it, and she had been involved with Bob Kaiserman and ALCOP. And so those of us who were interested in helping out and trying to put this together, really we started meeting online, and we thought it was something that was really, really important. So we decided to coordinate a national planning committee, and I'll show you the list of committee members in a minute. But one of the things that we had to do, since we were short on time, because we only had about 6 months to plan an entire national conference, was to find a sponsor or an organization that could actually, that we could funnel money through, registrations, all that kind of stuff. So Kathy had put out a few feelers, and Amigos in Texas had agreed to help us out, and we met a few times online with them and talked to them, and it really ended up working out great. So hopefully we're going to be using them again next year. And we do talk a lot about, how do we want to become our own organization, or do we want to be part of another organization? So all of those conversations are continually taking place. We just recently decided that we would meet monthly online, kind of like this format, and go to meeting and get everything planned out for next year's conference, which looks like we just got an email yesterday that it's going to be around November 16th and 17th, somewhere in that area, probably at the same hotel in Dallas. So anyway, we don't have a specific URL because we don't really have, we're not a 501c3 yet or a specific organization, so we've got a bunch of different URLs where you can find us. And I'm going to go to some of these so that I can show you all the different instances we have. So hopefully you can see this. Can you all see the, this is Welcome to the First Library Marketing and Communications Conference, Making New Amigos.
Looks good.
Okay, so this is actually the conference program that we put together, and the play on using Amigos as a organizer, so Making New Amigos, kind of cheesy, but so anyway, a number of us on the planning committee put different parts of this together, and some I was had like 250 pens left, so I gave them all to the conference bags. But you can see we actually had some sponsors like Orange Boy Inc. and Library Aware, and there's Marketing Library Services. So we're looking at possibly having, we didn't actually have any exhibitors this time. So we're looking at doing that next year. So here is just a welcome piece, and here's the conference committee, the planning committee. We actually had one Canadian, so it's really more than, just in the United States. We did have some people from Canada attend. The furthest away attendee we had was from South Africa. We actually had someone come all the way from South Africa to this because she said she had never found anything that was completely devoted to library marketing and outreach and public relations. So it was really cool to see people come from out of the States. So our conference hotel, we were at Crown Plaza, Dallas, which was near the Galleria. There were lots of restaurants around, so it was a great facility to meet in. We ended up having a couple of great keynoters. One was David Lee King, who I know you probably all have heard of, and the other was Yolanda Cuesta, and they both did really great presentations. And we had 4 tracks. We decided on marketing, planning and strategies, communications campaigns, collaborations and partnerships, and design and technology. And we were limited with the number of sessions we could have, and I think we had received 145 different session requests or forms, and so we had to break that down into just accepting certain ones. But all of these, as you can see, like developing your annual marketing roadmap and library stories capturing and promoting everyday innovation. So all of these were really, really right on target. And I want to say we had more academic library folks than public library folks, but it was still a pretty good blend. We tried to, in the planning, make sure that public libraries were represented and academic libraries, and any actually kind of library who wanted to participate certainly could. And some of the sessions were really generic, like using social media ads to promote your library. Actually, a vendor I think she was with EBSCO, presented that one, but she was also a librarian and just wanted to attend. So you can look at the full program here online, and I'm going to go to the next item here so I won't take up a lot of time. We do have a couple of Facebook links. We've got our Library Marketing Communications Conference group, so you can certainly join here on Facebook and join in the conversation. We've also got, I don't have it right here, but we also have a Facebook page that you can like, so that if you don't want to be part of the conversation but you want to get updates, you can certainly join or like that. We're also on Twitter. So we've got the libmarcomconf, which, say fast 10 times and you'll have your head will explode. But anyway, so you can go here, and we try to keep these tweets up to date. And since we were working with Amigos, they gave us a web page for the conference. So you can see, you can still get information even though the conference has passed, the program, schedule and speakers and all that. But one nice thing you can do is you can subscribe to our, I think it's MailChimp that we've been using, but you can subscribe if you want to get email updates and keep up to date with what's going on. And when the conference planning gets started for next year and we start getting out information, you can get information that way. One of the things that I did during the conference was to go around and interview some folks. So you can actually find us on YouTube. It's kind of a horrible URL because it wouldn't let me. I think you have to have a certain amount of views before you can actually update your URL to customize it. So our URL is still looking pretty strange for YouTube, but if you just do a search for Library Marketing and Communications Conference, you'll find the page, and I'm not going to try to play one of these right now because usually those come through really poorly over go-to meetings or webinars, but you can go here at your own time. These are really, really brief, and it's just people talking about their experience at the conference. And I grabbed David Lee King to do a quick little talk, and Yolanda Cuesta, who is our other keynoter, pulled both of them aside to just have some brief comments about the conference. And one of the neat things I did, and I'll just share this with you guys, is I used my iPhone and I bought a little lapel mic that plugs into the iPhone, and I used the iMovie app to create these, and it worked really beautifully. So if you ever need to interview someone, the quick and dirty version, the microphone was only like $26, and the app is like I think it's $5.99 to download. So really, really great way to make quick little videos. So back to my PowerPoint. I really don't have that much more other than, yeah, here's all the links to everything. And these were just some of the photos. There's Kathy, our lead organizer, and David Lee King and Yolanda Cuesta, our keynotes. And you can see we filled the room up. We ended up having to limit to 200 attendees because we actually didn't know how many attendees we'd get, but we had about 285. So there were about 80 people who weren't able to attend. But we did have a waiting list, and so some of the people who had to cancel, they were able to get into the conference. This is just a picture from one of the sessions. You can see there was even something about accessible library marketing and communication. So there were really a lot of nuanced sessions that really speak to library marketing and communications and outreach. So that's basically it. I'm happy to answer any questions. You can contact me. Here's my contact information. So if anybody has any questions about the conference, I would be happy to answer them.
Okay. I did have a question, Curtis. So you had 200 attendees. Do you think that you will allow for more attendees coming up for your second conference?
Yes, I think we're going to shoot for 350. So so it will be a bit bigger conference, and because we are looking at the same hotel again, and they do have meeting space that we would be able to use. It was actually a humongous hotel. There were 3 conferences going on at the same time, and we were the smallest one. So.
Okay. Well, and how much was the registration?
I think it was, let me pull it up on the website. Let's see. They might have taken that down. I want to say it was 200 something.
Okay.
So it was pretty much in line with, yeah, 2 full days, pretty much in line with what usually, conferences like this are.
Okay. So y'all are in the midst of planning for this November.
Yep, and it's like I said, I think I'm not sure if the date's been finalized yet, but we'll be getting a save the date out soon on our Facebook and Twitter and whatever. I want to say it's the 16th and 17th of November, which is kind of odd. I think it's like a Wednesday and Thursday or something.
Well, that looks good because SCLA, I think, is the beginning. Okay, so SCLA is the 9th.
Right, it's the week before, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that works out. We can go to all of them.
Yes, definitely. It looks like Jenny has a question. What is Amigos? Yeah, Amigos is, and my screen is still sharing. It's a Midwest library service, not-for-profit company, and what they do is it's kind of like Lyrasis out of Atlanta, just kind of a regional library service organization that libraries, become members of, and they have different consulting services. They offer a lot of training programs, things like that. And no, it's not part of ALA.
Okay. Are y'all you said before you're looking for a home? Are you trying to become a part of ALA then?
I don't think so. I think in our conversations we've decided we don't want to go that route, and we want to keep it separate because it really gives us more autonomy to just really concentrate on library marketing, communications, and outreach. So I'm not sure how we're going to continue, because we actually do have startup money now that's from the conference that Amigos is holding for us. So we're in the process of kind of figuring out how we're going to move forward with that, because Kathy Dempsey, who does the library marketing newsletter, she's an independent consultant, and a few others on the National Planning Committee are also independent consultants. So they know a whole lot more about, if we were going to try to set up our own association, but it's still kind of in talks right now.
Right, yeah. I remember you talking to me about AllCop, so this is just the next best thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anybody else from the floor? All right. Well, we're right on time. I just added a bit of tech talk for you. Can you see my Gmail right now?
No.
No. Okay, so that means I need to click this.
There you go. Now it's showing.
All right, so now, okay, so basically the reason why I'm bringing this up to the group right now is because through ACRL, I'm also involved with the Library Marketing and Outreach group for academics. And we have been doing, similar to what you were just talking about, Curtis, interviewing people that are really great with different types of academic library marketing and outreach. So, but the way we've been doing it is not face-to-face, it's through Google Hangouts. And right before we went to holiday break, I was trying furiously to do a Google Hangout with this librarian, library cataloger called Malavika Shrikandi, and that was when they had just changed how to do Google Hangouts. And I'm hoping that this is of interest to you. Basically, I have on our Google document that everybody was looking at. I think maybe I can, it won't let me show you, but it's down at the bottom because I logged out. Oh, yeah, well, okay, so it's down here. Let's see if it'll click for me. I created this document to help with understanding the different ways that you can use Google conversations, if you want to say. There are 3 different ways that you can call somebody through using Google. And the reason why I'm bringing this up to you is because if you wanted to talk to, like, say if Curtis and I wanted to talk, but we didn't have access to GoToMeeting, I could talk to him through using Google Hangouts. Or if you have a library friend in another state where you want to connect with them, or if you're a part of a group and you want to do these interviews, then Google Hangouts is a really good way to do it. There are 3 different ways you can do a video call, which is like one-to-one. Like I'm Curtis, I'm going to use you as an example. If I wanted to directly call him, it would be a video call. Then there's a Google Hangout, which is just, you can have up to as many attendees as you want, but there's no way to record it. And you can record, and it will go to your YouTube account. And then Google Hangout on Air is where you will record it, and it will go to our YouTube account. So I devised this whole document for us to use so that it would be a little bit easier to understand. So now you can see this is our, just your, if you use Google, then you're familiar with this. You can click and you can call someone directly from this chat, or you can click this link that is on this document that says Hangouts on Air. And what's crazy about this is if you just put in Google Hangout, it comes up with this interface. And I don't know if you've used this before, but you can do a video call, a phone call, you can message. But the option to actually record it to share with other people is not here, which was incredibly frustrating and also confusing. If you go to this link, you can create the Hangout on Air, record it, and then shoot it to your YouTube, like if you like with library marketing and communications, you could shoot it to your YouTube account. So I just kind of wanted to talk about how there's 3 different ways to connect with someone on Google Hangouts, which is completely frustrating, and that if you're looking for an avenue to connect one-to-one, one-to-many, and then one to record your meeting, then it's video call, Google Hangouts, or Hangouts on Air. So hopefully this will be a kind of tech tip that you can use to connect with your other librarians or, you know, your friends. So that's at the bottom of the link. If there's any other links that people might want to be placed in this document, I can do that for us. I'll definitely try to put a link to the conference that Curtis talked about today. And we are at the end of our agenda. If anybody has any questions, you can voice them now. I'll give you a couple seconds.
This is Curtis again. I had a quick question just of the group, because this is something that I'm interested in. That is anyone, and this kind of relates to what you're talking about with the Google Hangouts, but is anyone using Facebook Live to do any kind of online programming or online, you know, like book talk or anything like that? I'd be interested to know, because I've been trying to figure out ways to think of how I could use Facebook Live to promote library services.
Live streaming.
Yeah, and I've seen some folks using live streaming on Facebook, because I come across them, you know, just in my news feed when they're online or when they have been online, and it kind of makes a, I guess it makes a recording. But I'd just like to kind of know if anyone's thought about that or anyone's doing it.
This is the first I've heard of it, and Brianna just said that she hasn't looked into it that much, and Jenny says no, too. The only thing that I can say that it's close to that I've heard of is that Periscope, which is new to me, too, which is you have a video and people can join you and watch the video as you're making it, but I know nothing about this.
Well, maybe we'll have to have it as a session on the PR exchange.
Yeah, that would be really good. That's some good thoughts right there. Okay, well, like I said, I really want to have this video recording to be uploaded to our South Carolina Library Association YouTube channel. So once I have accomplished that, then I will send the link out to everyone, also on our listserv and through the SCLA list. And if nobody has any questions, oh, Nancy says, my husband taught a lesson for our son using FaceTime. So that must be one way that you are connecting via, kind of like Google. He was the guest lecturer. Okay, so you've FaceTime in front of the class is another way. Okay. I don't know a way to record FaceTiming, though. All right, so we got some thoughts for next time. Anybody else? Looks like we're pretty good. Okay, so if that's all, I'm going to bring our chat to an end. I will send out the notes, and thank you all for coming.